Folks, I'll tell you what, I am with my friend Sunny. This guy is on fire. We were supposed to start 25 minutes ago. We got so excited because we just start geeking out over all the stuff that he's doing. In fact, this is his second book. The new book is The Secret to Building Winning Global Teams. I'm talking to the global citizen himself, Sunny Kaila. How you doing today, Sunny?
I'm doing well, Carrie. You know, when two entrepreneurs meet, the excitement happens, and this is like more of an entrepreneurial delay.
That's right, man. Listen, your business is crushing it. I get the opportunity to work with your team in different ways on this book project. But I even just Googled your business and look at what's showing up, man. I mean, there are people and people and people, and you are in all kinds of countries. So, what I appreciate about your book right out of the gate is number one, that you are authentic. This is not some theory book that you said, hey, I'm going to write about what might happen. You are living it. In fact, Sonny, did I see you dancing on the streets of the Philippines on LinkedIn the other day?
I did.
That was awesome, man. So let's talk about the book. I know your co-author is Shannon Waller, amazing person from Strategic Coach. So congrats
Yes.
on your launch day. The book's already crushing it, making lists. But today is officially the live launch. And what's behind this book?
Yeah, no, I wanted to overall share what I know. Uh, People, other entrepreneurs that I care about, leaders that I care about. And I'm like, what do I know that is worth sharing with
Mm,
this world? And where I was born in India, I was 17 and a half when I came to this country. And overall, like driving taxi and going to college for computer engineering.
wow.
And that journey, the taxi to tech journey that I talk about, and I started as a small tech business in New York City to do break fix computer repair in
Really?
2003. It's more like for small businesses. I was the IT department in New York City, and just like other IT companies, and this channel is called MSPs, IT managed service providers, and we're all like in different cities, find small businesses where they don't have IT or they need co-managed IT. We start helping them, and I was one of the MSP in New York City. And when 2007 happened, Carrie, in 2007, a lot of my Wall Street customers started putting a lot more pressure on us
Mm,
to monitor, manage their systems 24/7 as an IT company for them. And it was hard to hire people at nighttime, weekends in the New York City area. Finding IT professionals that are willing to work in the daytime and that's top talent is hard.
mm.
Forget about finding people for night and weekend. And that's where this whole idea, and I was on like a treadmill in Grand Central Station gym, and I remember having New York Times Digest in my hand. I'm just exercising to kind of really, I was stressed out. I mean, how do I solve the problem? On one side, as a small business, there are a lot of cash pressures, growth pressures, profit. And then on top of this, we're not winning more business because the limitation is customers want 24/7 delivery center, and we didn't have that piece. And I'm like, what do I
Sure.
do? What do I do? And all of a sudden, in this New York Times, it says Microsoft, Google, all these companies are leveraging global talent. And I'm like, oh my
Ooh,
God, if there is one person in this MSP channel where that person have diverse background,
yeah.
I can do this. And that's where the whole journey of global team started, where I started building my global team. And there were a lot of other pressure points, like it was more of, technical businesses have 50% of the cost is normally labor, and that labor being very expensive, especially when you think of backstage activities costing you more. You and me both know backstage. And then I'm like, what are the activities that are more backstage, means don't require any customer interaction? I can delegate those to my India team. And that's where the journey started. So the bottom line is, what inspired me was I made so many mistakes. it was not easy, right? That blood, sweat, tears that I have had from 2007 to 2000, like 2007 to now, kind of building my offshore team, my global team, and you start learning a lot of lessons. And I'm like, I don't want those lessons that I have paid a lot of money by, making mistake is okay, but not, it costs you a lot of money, but they're not repeating it. But if you can serve others from your mistakes, the price that you have paid, you paid forward with that hands-on practical experience that you have, that means you're serving the world in a great way. So there are a lot of my, IT MSP friends to other small businesses where they struggle to grow, to make profits, and overall innovation, and the valuation of the company is not there. Then I'm like, I want to solve that problem by sharing the way I was able to not only solve that problem, but build a global capability that gave us the opportunity to serve anywhere, anytime, in any time zone. We can follow the sun when it comes to our reach. And we are able to deliver to Australia, UK, no matter which time zone you are in. But that required a global team, a winning global team. And that's what inspired me to, as a go-giver, share my entrepreneurial experience, how I have done it as a small business, and how I'm able to grow my business to now almost 1,000 people company, privately held, without borrowing even a penny from anyone. It's all our self-funded company. And the main thing the only thing that we did differently than other MSPs, other IT MSPs, is we had a global team where my competitors didn't.
Okay.
And then my competitors had to be my collaborators to get access to my global capability.
That's interesting. So you mentioned this a couple times. You said MSP. Tell people, because again, we got people all different.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's called managed services. Yeah, so managed service providers.
Managed service providers.
Managed service providers.
I like that. So like an example, what would be an example of an MSP would there be like a famous one that we might have heard of?
Yeah, so I think if in any service model, if you have value offering where you're charging a flat fee to kind of provide the service, like subscription service.
Oh yeah.
It's called managed services. And for IT, like IT managed services, yeah, those are like great names, Netgear, to Mariplex, to LineGuard, to we have so many amazing partners where they are managed service providers. So one simple way to look at this, Gary, is that when you as a small business, you don't have internal IT, or you don't have all kind of technical competencies in your IT department, you need to partner up with someone who can be your IT department. So this is like an IT department of small businesses.
That's hot. Okay, so you're telling me, look, lots of strategic coach people, which that's how we met. Lots of them have businesses.
Yeah.
But not all of them are, quote, big enough, or not all of them want to have their own IT department. So this is where almost like, I don't even want to use the word fractional, but you're almost like a team that comes in and acts as the IT team.
Yeah. So we kind of define outcomes expected from an IT department by a small business, and you deliver on the outcomes for a flat fee on a monthly basis. And that sometimes is based on number of users or number of systems, endpoints that they call it. How many endpoints are there, or how many users are there? So this everyone needs IT, and even like a bigger companies, you name it, like a Johnson and Johnson, to even bigger companies. They don't want to have everything. When they need, they don't need some technical skills full time. So for example, you have an IT department, you have the desktop support, server support guy, but you don't have the cybersecurity person. You don't have the VCIO or the CIO, you need a fractional CIO. Or you
Wow.
have like our friend Leor, so you need a CTO thinker, but you don't need it full time. So you need
Oh,
like a
yeah.
fractional CTO. So that's where these companies of all sizes, they will reach out to a IT managed service provider and say, hey, I I either don't have IT department, I want you to take over everything in my IT. If there's something that plugs into the wall, I'm going to call you. And or they do have some employees, IT employees in their IT department, but they don't have everything because IT is like it's a very broad
It's
spectrum
everywhere.
that you
Yeah.
cannot be an expert in everything. You can,
Mm.
like cybersecurity, AI now, to you have database people, you need programmers. So that's where even IT departments will go for staff augmentation to a MSP.
Wow. I love this. And so what you've done is not only do you play in the space, but you've achieved, and I've seen it, you've achieved such a high level of success that now the book basically says, okay, look, we're not the only ones who could have a borderless business. That's a great phrase you came up with. I love it. You're saying we're not the only ones. We can actually show how any company can go global.
Yeah, 100%. So if you're one of those entrepreneurs where by choice, by design, you just want to stay in your block, your city,
Yes, your
right?
unique
There are a lot of,
ability.
yeah, lifestyle businesses
Yeah.
where they're like, hey, man, I just don't have any ambition to, I just have one shop or
Oh,
in my city, I'm good. And I mean, for them, the only value creation there is that if there are front stage activities that you can do where they're high payoff for the in-house team, but you can kind of delegate boring work to either AI or backstage activities to a offshore team, you are more profitable. You have a lot better valuation as a business because you are being very cost efficient.
right.
You are managing your costs really well. So that's like a overall value prop for someone who just wants to stay local. But if you are a ambitious entrepreneur like Carrie,
Yeah.
you want to, you are thinking limitless. You are thinking boundaryless. For
Yes.
those entrepreneurs, not only the benefit of being efficient or being great at cost management, but you can also use this capability to expand your reach
Totally.
beyond local boundaries.
Ooh,
You
that's
are
great.
limitless. Starbucks have done it from Pike Place, where they started, just with the beans, selling beans.
What? Wow.
Then the entrepreneur, Carrie, he visited Italy. And that's where he got this idea of, hey, I I don't have to be just selling beans.
Mm,
I have great product. I can open up a cafe just like cafes in Europe. He opened up his first cafe in Seattle,
okay.
right next to the fish market there, Pike Place. And then he grew beyond city borders, beyond state borders, became a national business,
Wow.
then international. And when I was in Philippines, I was studying, borderless businesses, boundaryless businesses. And Starbucks alone, Carrie, they have 447 locations in Philippines, close to Manila, and they are bringing close to $1 billion in revenue from Philippines. And that is the power of thinking global. But what they needed to expand beyond national borders was a global team.
Mm,
Global thinking, but you still need that global talent who can run these different Starbucks locally that are present there. So learning how to build a winning global team. You can be Starbucks, you can be SpaceX. Actually, you can be planetless if you know how to
wow.
do this.
Well, and is that where both your books really come into play? Is that you want to be global, but you really need talent. You can't just have people. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, Because everything that we need thinking, we need talent. And when you have a great team, then you have no competition. Because even like there are a lot of entrepreneurs, very successful entrepreneurs. They're like, people were asking them a question that what is that one thing that you need if your business shuts down? Like,
Mm,
you can take my factories, you can take anything and everything I have, but
wow.
just don't take my people.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's
I
great.
can recreate it.
That's good. That is so true. And Sunny, I mean, we've known each other now for several years, and I see you just becoming a thought leader. You went from a really inspirational guy. I love the website where it's got the little animation, the farmland to the foreign land. That's cool. So you went from here to here. You essentially saw the Statue of Liberty, and then as Dan Sullivan teaches, you rented the Statue of Liberty at one of your events, which is that's a story. But now you're really becoming a thought leader. You're speaking, you got this big event that's happening right now, and so where's the boundary for Sunny?
Yeah, it's limitless. My life purpose, Carrie, is to impact
Mm,
1 million plus people in my lifetime at minimum, through my books, through podcasts, through everything that I can do as a go giver, kind of really serve the world. So the way I'm thinking is, like our coach, Dan Sullivan, he's always teaching us don't think, like, uh, don't
oh,
be that striving entrepreneur, be that expanding entrepreneur.
ooh,
So the way I'm thinking about my thinking is I'm going to continue to expand myself. I'm
mm,
going to continue to grow myself and make a bigger impact. Because for this taxi guy,
mm,
money is not my race anymore. Because if a couple of millions didn't make me happy with my IT business, with my real estate business here in Jersey City, more millions are not going to make me happy. So my
mm.
overall thinking, my purpose is keep expanding, and it's more about now how many people I can impact in a positive way. So to answer your question, it's not about the revenue. It's not about like that I have to get here with the profitability or valuation. That those things are important. That's one of the freedom that we learn at Strategic Coach. Money is important. It gives you options,
Mm.
but it's not the most important thing at this point. For me, it's more of uh, that that phrase that my father shared with me before I left India. That continue to find great people in your life, growth people in your life, positive people in your life, and then show up with the mindset of serving them.
Mm.
Money will be byproduct. Money is going to follow you.
So money literally cannot be the focus, because if it is, then you're not caring for your clients, you're not creating value. It's a byproduct of doing the right thing. I love that.
Yeah. So
So
it's more of sorry, but it's
yeah,
more of having that global vision that there are so many. It's abundance, right? So you can make an impact. Uh, it's more like that with that abundance mindset. So having that vision, which is more of global, and then having the capability, which is the winning global teams, having that capability to serve the globe. And then, of course, relationships, having right people in your room
mm,
so that you continue to grow
so
with
good.
the right people. Surround yourself with the right people where you're protecting your mindsets, your values, and keep expanding your service life.
Well, on that point, I mean, I'm looking at these pictures. These are some high level leaders here that you've been around. So
Yeah, actually, John C. Maxwell, he had a lot of impact on my life. Dan Sullivan had a lot of impact on my life. And then, because you're surrounded with great leaders, So you see Gary Vee, he came to our 2021 conference when we rented Statue of Liberty.
Oh, wow.
And Eli Manning on the right side, when we rented MetLife Stadium here in New Jersey, Giant Stadium, to bring him for Fireside with Eli in 2022. And then Tony Blair, that was John Maxwell's blessing that they are good friends. And John took us to London, and then Tony Blair spent a day sharing leadership lessons in London.
This is amazing. So you really are somebody who I try to be the same way, but you're a lifelong learner. There's no limits. You want to keep growing. And because of that, whenever people see Sunny, they know that they're going to get more, meaning they're not seeing the same Sunny. If I see Sunny 6 months from now, he's going to be thinking new things, dreaming new dreams, because you're constantly on a growth curve. Is this true?
Yeah, I normally tell people, Carrie, that if you were not, if you're not in my life from last, let's say, even 2 years, I mean, we didn't connect. That's what it means. So if you didn't meet me in the last 2 years, you don't know Sunny. You know Sunny 2 years ago.
Whoa.
I think it's more same thing with you, Carrie,
Yeah.
that I think everyone who's a lifelong learner, because you are becoming a better version of yourself every day. You are thinking experience transformation every day, what worked in the day, what didn't, what I have learned, what action I'm going to keep next day. So every day is a new version that it's like an update, like in the computer.
It's
like
exciting.
Computer. It's like you're patching, you're
Well, that's
rebooting,
good.
you're just doing things every day that is becoming better and better and better.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Well, and think about it. Think about an iPhone from 2011.
Yeah.
That thing, first of all, wouldn't even work. Second of all, if it did work, it wouldn't have enough speed or storage or capabilities. And so you're right. People who stopped growing in 2011 are not prepared to live in 2024, 2025. Do you agree?
Absolutely. It's this is the only muscle that you have to work on every day, and everything and everyone and everything around you will grow if you grow yourself, right? So we all talk about the self-learning, self-transformation. So for your world to expand, and the world being your marketplace,
Yes.
all you need to do is expand yourself. So if you expand, you're going to keep expanding. You're going to continue to break barriers, your thinking barriers, your impact barriers, all the barriers that you want to break. All you need to do is keep adding a new dimension every day to your thinking. Keep extending your thinking every day. And the world is going to keep extending.
That's so good. Well, listen, this book literally launches today officially. I know some people snuck in and got a little early copy. The reviews are already crushing it. It's the #1 new release. Can you see that on my screen?
I can.
That's pretty cool, man. So, how do you feel? I mean, the first book, I get it, it's always scary to do something for the first time. We were just chatting pre-show, and you're saying, I already got my next book. In other words, we better hang on tight to Sunny.
Yeah, I think when you have a positive experience, you want to repeat that experience. So in this process, working with you is such a blessing. And it was such a pleasant experience. And I'm like, hey, I can keep doing this every day. I mean, every year. Every day to release a book every year. That it's just because of the experience that you have created for me.
Wow.
Made it kind of frictionless for me and my team. So my team enjoys working with your team.
Your
I love
team's
working
so
with
great.
you. And I think it's really, that gives me a lot more confidence, because this confidence comes from your who's.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So talk to us, Sunny, as we end today. What is the #1 thing you want to get from this book? What do you want your readers to experience?
Value.
Value.
That if they read this book and they even have one takeaway, I'm going to consider that as a win. That even if they took something, a tiny, a little bit piece of my thinking, which makes a positive impact on them, and they're
Yeah.
like, Sunny, you are plus in my life because I read your book
Mm,
and it changed me this way.
that's so
And I
good.
was marking your book, reading it, and it marked me. Even if that
Oh, that's
marking
good.
is even just a little bit,
That's good.
I'm going to consider that as a win.
Sunny, you see this picture?
Yeah.
Are you surprised I have this on my desktop?
I am.
I'll tell you why I have it on my desktop. Like this is my win. My win is being a hero to Sunny because Sunny has a room packed full of his closest vendors, friends, clients, and they are all holding the book up that's changing their lives. I mean, that boom, that touches me. So I can't wait to get the second year picture, and I might even frame these things in my office here.
Yeah, that was your idea, Carrie. I'm like, hey, what do I do? I have this conference. You're like, why don't you do this? So, I
That's
mean,
right.
again, power of great who's around you.
But that's why you're a good client, because you're coachable. I try to be coachable too, but yeah, your team said what would be a cool shot? I said Sunny on stage. So Sunny, we are so proud of you. I want to encourage everybody right now. Sunnyspeaks.net,
Done it.
and you have IT by Design. The book's all over the planet right now. And congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you, buddy.